All right, I want to bring to you guys one of my favorite mixers I use for my podcast setup. Let's go. This is the Zoom L-12 standalone multi-track digital mixer interface. For a while, my go-to mixer for my podcast was the PreeSonus AR8. The PreeSonus AR8, this one right here. That's a great mixer. I love it. It's still fairly new to the studio, but I wanted a little bit more. The main thing that had me looking at the Zoom L-12 was the ability to save presets or save scenes that you can recall when you set it up. For the most part, my podcast setup stays fairly stationary, but I do shift my gear around depending on the podcast setup and what I need for it for that particular show. So while you're shifting gear around, your mixer settings can kind of get out of whack and you forget where you had them or whatever. So to save time in that adjusting period when you have it all set back up, hit the recall and you're back in that set position. Even on the go, when I take my gear out for a remote podcast, being able to recall the settings I have from the studio was a major plus. You hit recall, you hit your preset, and then you make your fine-tune adjustments from there. Second thing are the monitor outs. The Zoom L-12 has plenty of monitor outs, and I mean extra because most standalone mixers have one, maybe two monitor outs. This one has an A, and then it has an A2, then there's a B, C, D, and E. Those are all monitor outs that you can route to headphones or other recorders. Each person can have their own headphone mix output. I play music during my podcast, and in my headphones, I like the music to bang. However, my co-host, she doesn't like the music that loud, so I give her her own mix. I have my own mix, and also with the ability to save and recall those functions, those headphone settings are saved. When you recall them up, they're there. If you need to make adjustments for the day or not, you're good to go. As I mentioned before in a previous video about audio interfaces, the headphone output is something that people really overlook. And I mean the output as far as the headphone amp, like how strong is the headphone amp. On the PreeSonus AR8, I love that mixer. The preamps are great, but the headphone output on that particular mixer is trash. The headphone output on the L-12 bangs. It's super clean, super powerful, super loud. It'll drive any pair of headphones you got. Usually for my podcast, I'm in earbuds, but using my Beats or using my Audio Technicas, the headphone amplifier here drives those headphones no problem. Both the PreeSonus and the L-12 have built-in recorders. The thing that makes the L-12 recorder shine over the PreeSonus AR8 is that the recorder on the L-12 records all your multi-tracks directly to the SD card. The PreeSonus only allows for stereo recording to the SD. The L-12 does all your multi-tracks individually as well as the master stereo output all to the SD card. That helps if you got multiple people on your podcast while you're recording. Levels are all over the place. What you can do, record multi-track and then just mix it later so you can enjoy the podcast, get into the feeling of your podcast, and then mix that audio later before you post it to your hosting service. And being able to record multi-track directly to the SD card is a winner. I've been using the Zoom L-12 for about 4 months now, and I really haven't found anything that I dislike about it yet. I've used it with all different kind of configurations, with hooking up turntables, with hooking up other recorders, routing outputs to my cameras and to my video recorders, multiple microphones. I haven't had a routing output issue yet. Like, everything just worked. The functionality is great so far for me. The preamps are clean, very low noise. I use EV-RE320s as well as Rode Procasters, and the preamps on these things are great for both microphones. And having this compression function on each individual mic is a plus. Which brings me to my little pet peeve about this one knob compression function. Not just this mixer, any standalone mixer that have that one knob compression. I wish we just had a little bit more control over the compression for these types of mixers. Just a little bit, just a little bit. But they give us the one dial compression. Use it, not use it, it is what it is. What you gonna do? The Zoom L-12, one of my favorite pieces of gear for my podcast. I love it. If this is on your radar for a piece of gear that you want to get, I would definitely say go for it. I don't think you will be disappointed with this particular mixer. The recording functionality, clean XLRs, compression, the ability to save mixer settings, you can't lose. All right, that's the Zoom L-12 digital audio mixer interface, digital recorder, multi-track recorder. Like I said, if it's on your radar, maybe go pick it up, give it a shot. I love it. I think you'll love it too. All right, if you like this video, hit me with the thumbs up. And also subscribe, hit that little bell, you'll get the notifications on future videos. All right, I'm Mr. PreeZee. Until next time, I'll see ya.